Welcome back to Creepy Crawler's Garage and another daily update. Today we're going to take a look at a scale animated sign that we're working on here in the shop. We'll take a look at what's coming up next time, and we've got a quick update at the end that I don't think you're going to want to miss. Don't go anywhere. We're filming a new series in December, and in this series, we're going to be building an entire city. So our truck's going to be driving through an entire city that we have to build, and inside that city, we've got to have different businesses, and one of the businesses is going to be Willy's Bar and Grill. Now, this is going to be a key location in this series because I think the heroes in our series coming up in December are going to spend a lot of time there. They like to get their drinks. So we need to build Willy's Bar and Grill, and I was going to start with the sign. So this sign needs to be something special since we're spending a lot of time there, and I wanted it to be animated. So let's go ahead and head into the garage and take a look at what we've got so far. I've gone ahead and set up the sign basically like how it's going to be arranged when it's finished. Now the sign's only about halfway done as of right now, but what I thought we would do is go ahead and take a look at how we got to this point, and then when we come back, we'll talk about it a little bit more. So I went ahead and put Willy sitting on a camshaft. We had originally talked about having him sitting on a crankshaft, but I really needed something a little bit longer and thinner so it would underline the sign and also give him a place to sit. And a camshaft, I thought, really fit the bill, really does the job well. Still got a little work to do on it. I'm going to be adding some more silver and whatnot, but I think it's going to really work for an underline of the sign itself and a place for him to sit. Decided to also go silver and black on the sign and went with a tan jumpsuit or fire suit for Willy and some gray boots. I'm going to try to keep all the colors in the city pretty muted, pretty black, white, silver, earth tones. The reason for this is because all of the lighting that's going to be in the city is going to be colorful, bright, colorful neon. So it's going to be all these bright neon colored lights. So everything else I wanted to keep somewhat muted so those neon lights will kind of play off of those muted colors, the blacks, whites, silvers, those colors. So anyways, that's the main reason I went with black, a gloss black, so those colors will really shine and glimmer off of the sign. And then silver lettering, muted colors on his jumpsuit and gloves and boots and whatnot. But I did go with a blue, and it's actually a pearl blue on his helmet. That's what's going to have motion and move. So I wanted to give it some color to better highlight that motion and movement. So anyways, that's why I went with the color choices I did. Of course, let me know what you think down below. Let me know if you think that's a good, those were good choices. Now, I did want to talk a little bit more in depth about the quote unquote robotics of Willy. It's very simple. About as simple as you can get. Basically, I'm using an Arduino Nano that I programmed with a sweep sketch. So basically, it's a stock Arduino sketch that I modified a little bit. Basically, I've got his head moving from 40 degrees to 140 degrees instead of 0 to 180. But I used that sketch. I did add the Arduino to an expansion board here where I was able to just screw in the wires instead of soldering them to the board. So now, one, it's a little bit easier just to be able to screw them in, but also I'll be able to use this board for other things. It won't have a soldered servo to it. And I can add more servos to this expansion board so I can have this one board control multiple servos. So if we have some other signs that have motion or movement, I can upload some sketches to this Nano, basically just assign them to a different pin on the board, and I can have it controlling multiple servos. In fact, up to 6, I believe I can control, maybe 9. I know he is actually connected to the ninth digit, the D9 pin on the Nano. I don't know if I can run full 9. I think it can only support 6. I'd have to look into that. But the point being is it can control multiple servos, so I can use this one board and give it different programs or different sketches to control different servos in different ways. If we want to have something else that's moving up and down, whatever that might be, I can use this board to control them. So I thought that was a real simple, cheap solution to not only control Willy, but have expansion also in the future. I thought it was the easiest solution for the movement of Willy. Anyways, let me know what you think so far on this, on the whole setup so far. Let me know down below what you're thinking. We're gonna have to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we'll take a look at next time, which is gonna be what's next for Willy's sign. This basically was part 1. We need part 2 where we finish the sign. So what's coming up next? And stay tuned for the end. We are gonna have a quick update you may be interested in, but let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. In the next daily update, we're going to actually see Willy's Bar and Grill sign completed. It's going to be totally complete. And what we mainly have left to do to complete the sign is add the lighting. And what I'm going to be doing is using some EL lighting to create neon that goes around the sign. So I'm going to frame the sign itself. I haven't decided if I'm just going to do it in a U shape like this, or if maybe we'll go all the way around. I think what I'll probably do is go all the way around like this with some blue EL lighting, which will simulate neon tubing. And then what I'm also going to do is drill in some small holes behind the letters and just use some LEDs, and then use that to backlight the letters. So these, let me show you here. I did this with offsets. Can you see? Hopefully you can see that the letters are offset from the back of the sign. So I'll be able to put some LEDs behind the lights. Basically, actually, we'll mount them in back here, and then create some backlighting for the sign itself. Get that back. So that'll backlight the sign. We'll have the neon tubing around, and I think that'll give plenty of light. I'm still deciding on a way to light Willy himself. I don't know if I just want to maybe put a spotlight on him, or if I do some neon around him. I think what I'm probably going to do is just do a spotlight at him. I don't know if maybe from above or from beside or maybe even from below. I don't know yet. I think once I get everything mounted up on a piece of signboard where it's all one unit that we can mount above the business itself, then I think I'll probably be able to figure out how I want to light him. If you have any ideas, by the way, just let me know down below. I know I had one suggestion of adding LED lights to his eyes. I think that's going to be a little tough. It's going to be hard to get the lighting up in there with the servo and everything. I think that'll be a little tough. I'd rather put a spotlight on him, quite honestly. But let me know what you think down below. Let me know what you think overall. By the way, all the electronics are going to go in behind. So that'll all run in behind the signboard itself. If you look at the back of Willy, you can see here's basically, I painted all the servo mounting and everything black. You can see how his back is flat. That's basically going to be where the signboard is. That's how he's going to mount. All this will be behind, all the electronics will be behind the signboard, so you won't see any of that. But let me know what you think about it so far down in the comment section below. If you have any ideas, especially for the lighting of Willy, let me know down in the comment section also. I almost forgot, before we move on, I did want to get your input on one more thing. I do have the steering wheel and gear shift that's going to be going in Willy's hands, but I wanted to get your input on the steering wheel itself. So the steering wheel has basically the front side and the back side. Now, the decorative side of the steering wheel is the front side, so it would actually be facing Willy like this. And this back side of the steering wheel, I do want to have it in Willy's hands, but the back side of the steering wheel is kind of it doesn't look as good as the front side. So I was going to see, my thought was just to mount it in his hand backwards. So with the front side facing us. Now, of course, that's backwards, but it looks better. So I wanted to get your input. Does it look better just to go ahead and mount it backwards to have that front side facing us or the decorative side facing us? Or should we go ahead and just mount it the correct way like this and just kind of have, I guess you want to say the uglier side facing us? I just wanted to see what your thoughts were before I actually glued this in his hand. I'm tending to mount it backwards just so it looks better. But let me know what you think down below. I wanted to give a quick update on some perks that are coming to the channel and to the Patreon page. And I know that a lot of you guys out there have been asking how you can support, and a lot of you guys are supporting the channel and the new series coming up. So I just wanted to give a quick update on some different and new ways that you can actually support the channel. And I'm going to start with over at the Patreon page. So all the tiers over at the Patreon page are still the same. If you're a patron, don't worry, nothing's changing. But I am going to do a little something different with the free giveaways that's given away every month to the $5 and up patrons. And what I'm doing is some little plaques. So I wanted to show everybody, basically what I'm going to do is these, I guess you could say, limited edition plaques for each of the builds. So this is going to be actually October's. This will be shipping October 5th. If you're a $5 up or an Explorer level or up patron over at the page, this will be shipping out to you on the 5th. Basically, it's like a plaque for the Ripsaw, or I guess a montage for the Ripsaw, or what's the right word? An homage to the Ripsaw. I don't know what the right word is, but it's a plaque that's honoring. There we go. We're honoring the Ripsaw. So this will be coming out to you. Basically, it's going to be a limited series. So I'm actually numbering this one 0. This is the prototype. So 0 of 10 right now. Basically, I have 10 Explorer level or higher patrons. So I'm only making the number of Explorer level or higher plaques. So there won't be any more available unless you're a patron. And I'm going to be doing them every month. So next month, October is going to be the Ripsaw. November, I'm going to do the TRXZ. December, we'll do another build, and on and on and on. So each build, and you can basically build a collection of these. Now, that's not to say that you can't still get the Ripsaw. Until October 5th, you can still sign up over at the Patreon page to be an Explorer level or higher patron, and I'll add 11, 12, 13, however many I need, I'll just add to this. But whatever there is on, we'll say October 5th, actually it'll have to be, I guess, October 4th, because these will ship on the 5th. Whatever there is on the 5th, that's what I'm making, and that's all there will be. Now, that doesn't mean that the following month you can't get on the TRXZ plaque. You can't get we'll do a Zuber's Scrap and Ride plaque. You won't be able to get in on that one. In other words, you'll be able to get in all the ones coming forward. But I just wanted to show that this is going to be kind of what the perk's going to be moving forward over at the Patreon page, basically where you can just build your collection of plaques. They're all going to look very similar in this format. So if you have a scale garage, you can mount them all side by side, or whatever you want to do. You can turn them into Christmas ornaments, whatever you want to do with them. But they're all going to kind of honor or have represent that build. So I'm thinking like with the TRXZ project, it'll probably have a little bomb and maybe a turret on it or something to that effect. But like the Ripsaw has the saw blade and then the hatch that you get in just to kind of honor that build. But anyways, that's what's going on over the Patreon page. And then also you might have noticed there's now a join button down below. So I added that to the page because I know there's a lot of people that's want to support the channel and didn't want to go over to the Patreon page and give more people their information and all. And I understand that. I completely understand that. So I thought what I'd do is I would add the join button down at the bottom there and give some perks that I can through the join button or through the, joining the community tab or the membership in the community tab. So it all stays right here in YouTube and you don't have to go to another site and go, out of YouTube to help support the channel. Now, what you can get down there, there's 3 different tiers down there, starting with the entry level is just $1.99, and you get these exclusive badges that'll show up next to your comments and whatnot down in the comment section. And then you also get exclusive photos that I'm going to try to be posting pretty much every day. Basically, what I'm going to have is I'm going to have my wife just clicking off photos as I'm doing things, so kind of behind the scenes photos, and I'll be adding those to the community tab. You'll see them down in the community tab, and you'll get exclusive access to those. And then there's multiple multiple levels, multiple tiers above that. Basically, that level is shop employee. Then if you want to be a shop manager, you'll also, twice a month, I'm going to actually be doing behind-the-scenes videos. So I have a lot of content that never makes it into these videos like I'm doing right now. It gets cut. You could say it ends up on the cutting room floor. I'm going to take and put that together and give you that exclusive content twice a month at that shop manager's level. Plus, you get everything from the shop employees level also. And then we're also going to have the shop boss level. Now, of course, you get all the other tiers, but I'll be shouting out whoever the new boss of the shop is. So if you become a new boss of the shop, you'll be announced as the new boss of the shop until we get a new boss after that. So anyways, that's a few ways, a few options if you want to help support the channel, just using the join selection down below. If you want to help support the channel, but you don't want to go over to Patreon. Now, a lot of the content I'm going to be giving down in that adding down to that community tab will also be going over to the Patreon page. So if you're already a patron, don't worry, guys. Pretty much all that content I'll throw over there also, so you don't have to join both. You might want to join the $1.99 if you want to get the badges on top of your Patreon, but that's up to you. What I'm saying is, you can obviously join both if you want, but you don't. It's not required. You're going to get all the content. Anyways, let me know what you think. If there's any rewards that you'd like to see or something different, let me know also down in the comment section. I can always adjust this and change it as we move forward. Thanks for joining me again here in the garage for another daily update, and thank you for being patient for this daily update coming out. I know it took a while. You can probably hear it in my voice. I've been dealing with a lot of sinuses lately, and I just was not able to talk to a camera. It's been bad. So I finally got a day. I'm a little hopped up on Benadryl right now, but I'm able to talk to the camera. So it took a little longer to get this daily update out. I apologize for that, but I do plan on getting back to about a 2 to 3, probably 2, maybe 3 episodes per week of the daily updates, or the almost daily updates. So I apologize for this one taking so long, but thank you for all the support. Thank you for hitting that like button. Thank you for all the comments. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, so you can keep up with all these episodes. I think you have to ring the bell still also, so do that. But I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.